What's the cheapest you've ever got an ounce for, whether it was from the plug or a dispensary? What is the lowest price you've ever paid on an ounce? For me, 25 cents. Now, there's a video on my channel about it, but I just looked at it. It was made 3 years ago on May 4th, 2019. So some time has passed. They've age restricted the video so they don't show as many people. So I figured I would tell you guys the story of how that happened and how I ended up buying 2 different ounces for 25 cents each. 3 years ago in Colorado Springs, I heard about one of the best dispensary deals I'd ever heard. One of the larger chains in Colorado called LiveWell had one of their locations, one of their medical locations in Colorado Springs, had some kind of issue with their lease and they couldn't renew, and they ultimately had to close the store down. And I think due to some weird rules, they weren't able to transfer their flower from one location to another. I heard about this because my girlfriend actually used to work at the dispensary, and I think she wasn't working there at the time, but her friends that worked there, her old coworkers, let her know about the deal. So it was actually a week-long deal. They were selling all of their in-house flower. I think none of their third-party stuff was like that great of a deal, but all of their in-house flower was packed up in ounce containers, and they were selling them for 25 cents each, sort of like a patient appreciation. You were legally allowed to buy 2 ounces at a time, but they were only selling one of the 25-cent ounces and trying to give them out to as many different people as they can. They were reserving them for patients who were signed up, who signed their medical plans over to become members of the dispensary, something that you do in Colorado Springs with medical. You sign over your med plan so another place can grow them and give you discounts. I actually heard about the deal in the middle of the week after they had already pushed out probably most of the best stuff, but there was still 2 days left. So what did I do? I went there that same day, signed up, picked up an ounce, and it was 25 cents for the ounce, 27 cents after tax. It's so weird leaving the dispensary with an ounce of weed and you paid what you would pay for a gumball. With tax, gumball machines don't take the extra 2 pennies for tax. But you know what I mean, the absolute cheapest weed. Now, this obviously isn't a regular deal. I couldn't go get it every day, but there were 5 days that this deal was available, Monday through Friday, the last week that they were open, and they were selling 1 ounce at a time for 25 cents each. I ended up getting 2. I think I went on a Thursday and a Friday, the last 2 days that they were doing it. I probably didn't get the best choice on ounces. I think I recall they said they had like a dozen different strains that they were selling. So I basically got last pick on it, but getting an ounce for 25 cents is very, very cheap though. And it wasn't even that bad. I would think that an ounce that cost me 25 cents where I'm paying literally less than a penny per gram. I got 28 grams for 27 cents after tax. I paid less than a penny per gram. It was better than I was expecting. I smoked it. If you watch the video, I'll link it at the end. But if you watch the video, I smoked a bunch of it in the video. I don't think I ended up smoking through the whole 2 ounces. I smoked a good portion of it. Well, again, it wasn't the best weed I ever got, so I went back to the good stuff after making the video. And there was a buddy of mine who makes a lot of like salves and stuff, different medicinal things to help people treat different pains in their area. I ended up donating the last bit of flower to him that I had so he could make it into a salve or something. I had already smoked it for the video. But it really wasn't that bad. It wasn't harsh. It wasn't terrible. If you look at the video, you can see frost and stuff on it. I'm not going to show it in here because they're probably age restricted. They're getting weird with the age restrictions. So make sure you follow me on Twitch so you can help support my stream. If you have Amazon Prime, you can literally give me money for free. But if you do end up checking out that video, I think I smoked like 5 bowls of it in a row, like back to back, a little sped up. I'm even using hempwick. I'm even adding the string terps. This was 3 years ago before I think I fully pushed away from hempwick. But even with added string terps and the 25-cent ounce, I was able to get through a handful of bowls with almost no issues. So it wasn't super harsh. It wasn't the worst weed I'd bought in Colorado, but it was the cheapest weed. But it's interesting to think about because the second cheapest ounce I got, without me using like a bunch of coupons or something like that, I think the second cheapest ounce was like 40 or 50 bucks. So for the cheapest to be less than $1 is wild. I have seen $25 ounces in Colorado. Some stuff was like shake and tiny bud, but I never got that stuff, $25 ounces versus 25-cent ounces. But I bought a ton of ounces in the $60 to $80 range, and it was on par, pretty close to that 25-cent stuff. So, well, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. That's at Cewpins420. And if you want to see the video, the full video where I got the 25-cent ounce, you could see the flower, the receipt, all that kind of stuff. Check out this right here. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a lit day.